How many calories in L'Oreal? That's the discussion we were just having.
Oh wow, I love this play from Golden. This is my favorite pug play. I do it every time I get a mid spawn and I'm feeling it. You just bust out the deagle, go for that window shot. But he can't find anything there. Ships though, playing around triple. Flash comes out actually, and he peeks right around it, but JW is actually the first to find the kill. Through the smoke, Emmy finds the trade, and it's a 4v4 situation. Crim somehow finding Emmy in return, and Roland on top of stairs somehow, taking down Snappy. The two remaining contact players are both around that stairs position. They have a lot of ground to make up.
I respect the deagle buy as well. That's actually pretty epic to see that on the pistol. Although the Glocks will do all of the work, as will have Fanatic pretty comfortably claiming the pistol round with 4 left alive at the end of the pistol affair, and now it's 13-3, and with the prospect of winning a round in advantage. They're playing against Contact who are on the CT side. They don't have too many options here, and they're so far behind. They're doing what I think is by far the best decision, which is to force buy. You're so far behind, you just have to do it. You can't wait for rifles at this point, and they won't. So we'll see what they can do with it.
Yeah, they should probably force into every round this game, in all honesty. If they actually want to give themselves the best chance, that's probably it. If you give up 1 round for free when you're down 13-3, you're almost guaranteed a loss against a team like Fnatic.
Yeah, your percentages are so low that already it doesn't matter that you're having a round. You're already playing from a low percentage.
Yes.
Victory outcome, so you might as well force buy every round.
Now, do you prefer a deagle over P250 in that scenario? Because P250 still one taps from that range.
It doesn't anymore.
It doesn't anymore?
They took that out.
How long ago was that?
It was in the last like 18 months or something.
18 months?
Yeah,
I played this way more than that. I've one-tapped people with P250 from window.
It's if they have no helmet, you can. On pistol on the pistol round.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant this round. I thought you meant this round here.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, P250 does. P250 does. It's just that the movement is just a little different, and the accuracy reset is just a little bit. I think it's slower actually for the P250 when you come to a stop. But this anti-eco is actually not as flawless for Fnatic as they would have hoped. It's looking still pretty good now, but it actually is brought down to a 1v1 all of a sudden. Emmy finding some kills there, and Flesha, who found a kill earlier in the round, is now faced up against Emmy, who's tucked himself into the apartment. Flesha with that MP5 equipped. This is
Yuck.
Yeah, it's not the greatest weapon, but with Emmy on low HP, he just has to find a couple of shots with
10
Emmy
seconds as
at
well.
this point. And yeah, there's no time, but
What are you doing?
oh, Flesha.
Someone call the time.
He never had to peek.
He didn't.
He didn't have to. In fact, peeking there is really bad. Actually.
Yeah, it's just bad. For sure.
It's just really bad.
That's the nerves or
that's
something kicking
unfortunate.
in.
Even if he finds the timing on him jumping up onto that, you could guarantee it by just waiting.
Yeah. He had a position to guarantee a win at the round because Flash would be forced to plant. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's a blunder.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for Contact.
Yeah,
now they're in a bigger hole.
But at the same time, like, they're probably wanting to get the hell out of Mirage at this point.
You always got to try to win, Dan. Never give up, never give in.
Hey man, it's not me.
I know you'd never give up, Dan. You play to the very end.
Yeah.
Dan's one of those guys try-harding at 15-2, calling a full A exec on Mirage. Just like, come on, man.
I would never call an A exec.
Ever.
What kind of scrub do you take me for?
Sometimes the A exec is the call.
That's true.
But Dan won't do it.
Just thinks it's too scrubby, but oh! Wow, Emmy pulling out the knife at the end after the 2K. But those are some great frags, and Ships chiming in with the deagle of his own. And Golden does take him down, finding another, and Fnatic seem to have things under control, but still a 2v2 situation. And far away is Flesha. Golden here on the bomb site alone. And he will be tested. A tag comes out. Golden is quite low at this point, and Flesha is still making his way on over to try to support his teammate. Snappy has achieved advanced positioning at Cat, but it's not good enough as Golden does find the other in-game leader, and it just leaves Otto now in the 1v2.
Has a scout actually, which is really ideal for this situation, but never mind, he'll be taken down by Flusher.
Flusher
good old
finally,
Flusher.
he finally comes in to help his teammate, you know, after 30 seconds. Just him sitting around the site, making sure the flank is being covered. Always expect Flusher flanking and doing something wild. He's a lurker, he loves it.
It's like Jordan was saying that Flusha just has the pictures in his mind of where the players were. He just thought, he convinced himself there was a player underpass, so he was just watching that for 30 seconds even though no one came there.
It happens, you know, it can't be perfect.
Yeah, your mental map is not
Not even
always-
Flusher,
yeah.
it can't be perfect
Yeah.
all the time.
But like 90% of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, very
he's
frequently.
nailing it. So,
Pretty on
like,
point.
so you can definitely forgive the times it doesn't work out. And contacts, you know, there's always a way back. But Flush is going to take down Snappy towards the Palace area. So with those 2 opening kills, you definitely feel as though, you know, that's the last nail in the coffin. And there's not too much left to really be done here for Contact. That try as they might, Fnatic have just better everything. I'll tell you, we'll be able to take down 1, but there's a killing kind coming out from Roland, who will also finish off Emmy. So this leaves Otto with a FAMAS. They don't know that he's here. I'm trying to figure out where they're going to plant.
I think the
Because-
bomb is it ramp? I can't tell. Oh no, it's been
Okay, it's
on
got picked
catwalk.
up on Cat, so
Yeah.
yeah, okay, they can just go plant B. Because otherwise, like, there is a win condition if they
Yeah.
feel like they can plant A.
Mhm.
Maybe he gets a double and then a 1v1.
Right.
But that's not happening. He's going to have to work for this one.
Oh yeah.
This is the AK, though. Interesting. Well, I guess he was running anyway. So either way, 16-3. That's the end of the first map. Pretty easy for Fnatic. It's surprising because we've seen Fnatic struggling here or there the last couple of days with opponents, and Contact just beats Complexity in a best of 3, which had multiple overtimes. All the maps going all the way. I think the map that didn't have an overtime was 16-14. So they're able to go toe to toe with Complexity, but Fnatic is Fnatic. They're like, I feel like they're almost like a modern VP, you know, a VP of old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be headed to Fnatic's map pick next. That will be Train, and we'll see if Contact can bounce back after that pretty humiliating defeat.
Wow.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What you talking about?
All young men with suits and ties, just sitting in the crowd smoking big cigars. I hope you're ready for what's coming now. I'm the one on the list. Go bring it down.
What's up?
Hey,
We're
what's
back.
up?
We're
Hey.
back. I'm
Hey.
carb loading. What are you guys doing?
I'm thinking.
Intermittent fasting.
I'm trading options on Microsoft
Nice.
and waiting for some lunch, you know, that kind of deal.
Good stuff.
Lovely. Well, contacts are getting their asses handed to them currently.
It's so funny because when it started, I was kind of getting this like, ooh, Mirage is going to be Contact looks like they have their thumb on the pulse for how to be scrappy against
Yeah.
Fnatic.
Yeah.
They were getting into sights, and then, you know, what was that one round? It was the Fnatic Eco round today that they won, followed by like maybe this. There was a convincing round at B, and then it seemed to just snowball. They won like 9 straight.
Yeah. And they had that 7-3, 5v3 advantage, and then they jumped into their own window Molotov and died. And at that point, I feel like Contact just never... I mean, they already were losing at that point.
There was the
but
Emmy situation as well, where kind of threw away guaranteed rounds. in
they're
the
right here.
balance.
That's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 5 seconds
He
left.
literally didn't have time to plant the bomb. Yeah.
No, I don't think he did.
I think if Contact were able to change the pace a bit on their T side, it felt like after the first like 3-4 rounds, they just kept going at this mediocre, like almost pug pace. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Stop for the chicken.
I can't touch it. I might have COVID.
You could
Get-
go there. Well, that was good.
Oh
He
my
really
God.
punted that.
That was accurate. You saw
Yeah,
that,
it went right through the...
I threaded the
That's
needle
legit.
over there.
But yeah, if Contact was able to change the pace a bit, I felt like if stuff's not working in your T side, don't keep peaking at the similar times in the rounds. Maybe slow it down a bit. Try to guarantee kills, or at least get info to kind of know if there's 2 or 3 people in this area or whatnot. Was that you?
Yeah.
Is this Undertale?
Was that the production?
What is it?
But yeah, I just think I mean there's a lot of things they could have done better. But I
Yeah.
think timing is something that you could maybe change at the time to slow it down, try to guarantee kills, just make it harder for Fnatic to.
It's
really
hard though,
get
right?
kills.
They were getting it. Like I know from being in that situation, when you kind of have this like momentum-based T side, and then a couple things don't work, it feels almost like you're like losing a mental fight by like changing your playstyle sometimes. So you have to separate emotionally from like, oh, we're gonna start playing this way, not because we're scared, but because we did lose a couple rounds that we shouldn't have played this way. So it's hard to tear yourself away from that stubborn core of like. Because normally if you're playing well and you're missing a couple rounds and you really outplayed them, you're like, we can stick to the strategy for a couple rounds. But they kind of rolled it back. They had the economy on CT side after like 5 rounds in a row. That's when you're, I think, what was it, like 7-3, they probably should have kicked the gear down and tried to work better off a default and win. And you know, they did one mid-split to A that should have won. That was a 5v3, and then he jumped window in the volley. And so, but yeah, sometimes that is like a tough gear to switch that seems almost like, oh, these guys are dumb. But it's really just like, they felt like they were getting into advantageous fights, and then all of a sudden they weren't, and they were losing.
I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of veteran leaders when they get into positions like that. Kerrigan, for example, seems to consistently do this when his team's having trouble in these kind of defaults, even not even changing pace or anything like that. He'll just go for whatever their bread and butter set play is. Just take the guesswork out of it. And I feel like Contact's attempt at that was supposed to be at one point an A
That
exec,
A thing. That
and then they
kinda
just
were,
swung dry.
like they got in like a TeamSpeak fight, like middle of the exec. They're like,
Not feeling it anymore, actually. And then they just swung out and all died. Yeah. So
maybe.
That or maybe in the comms to have too many chefs in the kitchen. One guy's calling this, other guy, no, I think we should do this. I think we should do this. It will work. And then it's like,
Yeah.
Opinions.
I'm not
Or
sure.
like butthole. Wait,
yeah.
how it goes?
You can say butthole.
You
I
can.
think.
Everyone has one. Is that
Bunghole.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not everyone,
Yeah.
but most people.
Listen,
I'm including everybody here.
Yeah. There's
that is
on the other broadcast. I know someone doesn't have one on the other one. On the NA broadcast. I mean, we'll keep it a
happens,
mystery for
you
the
know.
fans.
Let you guess.
Yeah.
We'll see a different story unfold before our eyes. We're moving to train, as you guys can see on your screen, and perhaps Contacts have had a pep talk. Maybe they've got a game plan that's gonna really tick all the boxes here to deal with Fnatic. We shall see. First, of course, as always, is the pistol, and you can see that Betway on the Betway betting. It's highly favorable odds for Fnatic. And that's not too surprising, especially given the first map.
And shouts out to Prius,
What's
observer
up,
there.
DJ?
Yeah.
What's up, dog? Can you hear us? Probably.
Switch the cameras if you can hear us. Okay, switched it. You can hear us. Yeah.
Oh, nice little double from Emmy, and that's gonna. Okay, Crim's against the world. This could be pretty good. We'll see if what he can do. I think his steps may have been heard. I'm not sure. We'll see. Well, certainly now that he's thrown a flashbang, his position is known. Oh, that's actually a smoke that could be helpful, although the choke point is small. He does need to recover the bomb at some point. Okay, this does feel very hopeless, actually.
If he can get a couple kills, though, that would be nice going into the next round, which we might see the inevitable buy force type situation. I've seen Crim snap on 2 right here.
Yeah, I feel like there's a world where he can do it.
Uh-oh.
That's a start.
Someone peek right side and get goose.
Full
And now they're backing away.
20 seconds, though.
Fall,
That's smart,
bro.
that's
I'm low.
smart.
I'm low.
Fall back!
Oh,
Fall
wow.
back!
This is a lot of respect they're showing, but
Yeah.
good timing on the peak from Snappy. That's the only place Crims could have gone is right. So that was good stuff from Contact, and that's the risk of playing Contact on really any map. The CT side for them can always just be individually so explosive. Emmy in that round was finding 2 quick ones, and I think that's what Contact needs in this kind of game. Their T side was pretty lackluster on Mirage, but when it's now just up to the individuals, all of these guys believe in themselves.
Yeah. And I do also, I think it was smart the way they played it, because as you say, like, the respect is due for Crims. Like, the way that he played that, he was looking for just one person to make a mistake in terms of overextending. And he knows that's the only way he wins that round. If he forces the fight, too aggressively, he loses the round against the caliber of players he's playing. So it's a pretty fun little dynamic. And we'll see a B push coming in this round just off the bat with a single flashbang. They don't have anything to work with except that flash. So we'll see how much they can find with this. The setup for Contacts is... Okay, well, Otto's been discovered. However, dealing with him is going to be difficult. He will actually go down. If they could get a plant, that would be absolutely huge. And maybe they will. Ships will just about get there in time. And that's the plant denied. That's unfortunate for Fnatic, but they did get a kill. So...
The plant would have been huge. Give them a little extra boost, maybe even possibly an op. I don't know. Maybe sometimes Fnatic doesn't start off too fast with an op. They don't have the money.
I don't think they could have afforded it here. Maybe a glass one on one of their players at best. Maybe flush it.
Sometimes they'd go glass cannon though. You know, just make a stand. Just get a kill. That's what you need is a kill. Open up the site.
Alrighty. Contact start off with the lead with the control of the economy. Brolan he's out there. He's going to have to not be out there for too much longer as he falls back. And Contact's definitely keeping players towards the front of the A yards, although now they're backing away slightly. They have lost Otto, of course, which strains the defense a lot. Cracer openings here. That said, Esperanto will manage to take down Broland, so that's going to be helpful. The bomber's making its way through halls at the moment, and oh, that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. That's almost a free kill.
The A side is where the CTs are, but that's not where the bomb is. So yeah, this is a tough one. At least it looks like they should be able to hang on to their rifles if they play this smart. JW is in a position where they would perhaps want to go. Do they know that he's there though?
Well, he found a couple kills earlier, so they should have some idea. Esperanto will desperately try to save this A1S, which I think has a real case on Train, actually. I think it's one of the few maps. I think Dust 2 and Train are where I've been seeing the most A1Ss from pros. Just the long-range fights are definitely good for the burst of the gun, and also you can frequently get the jump on people. Just they don't know what lane you're shooting them down from immediately, and with how long it is, it's sometimes actually just completely silent.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots, especially when there's FBs and other gunshots being shot. It's hard to pinpoint an A1 in the moment of heat. So I could see it. I mean, I'm an A1 kind of guy.
Just that laser accuracy off the shot.
All about the,
If-
two-tap.
I was gonna say, like, it feels very 1.6 the way that you would want to shoot it, because at least for me, like 1.6 was all about the 2-bullet burst, but it's a pretty huge amount of nade damage. I think that was just.
Just
what was that? Was that nade damage or was that like
yeah.
an op
Mid
shot?
bomb from Team
Yeah,
Mid.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
It was mid-bomb nades.
When I played a Stanislaw, he would like that was like once a half, even in practice, just like 3 best spawns, triple nade bomb train, and like I used to never do it, but I seen it a lot. And I was like, this is all right. Like they dodge it, and we'd get like a kill or like look on demos and do the damage. I was like,
Yeah, it seems super strong.
Feel sorry for Otto. Last round he and Alp got one tapped by JW with an AK, and this round he's down to 14 HP. Hasn't even seen a person. 2 ops in 2 rounds, not 1 shot.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting because that's kind of a neutral angle the way that works, but we'll go into that in a moment. Fnatic need to find a way to recover. They've been just kind of hanging out, and it's looking a little bit desperate for them. But they definitely need to try to do something here. I don't think saving makes any sense, but there is an argument for it.
They do have an op, so
Yeah.
and their money's pretty low. Well, yeah, so they might not be able to buy anyways next round.
They're being so slow as well. Like now, it's got to be a save.
You have
Yeah.
to just do it. Just save it. Come on, don't be scared.
They are kind of hanging out in team main right now. At least one is. Flushes over there. He will fall back.
Yeah, this round was just Fnatic trying what they did in the previous round, but with a little less pace, a little slightly slower tempo, and they get picked apart instead of Contact being the ones that are dismantled. So good on Contact to, despite playing the slow game that Fnatic usually thrives in, they come out on top across the board.
Also, Contacts has been doing a pretty good job of putting of offensive kind of like pushing up in the ladder room or taking control of T-Con a lot, and it's really kind of making Fnatic a little slow down a little bit and trying to, not get in really awesome spots in the first like 10 seconds of the round or whatever that we saw earlier in the day. What Fnatic's doing.
now they switch up the tempo here. They fast out ladder, the old ladder pop. Crims goes down early. Trays are even as they're in a 3 vs 3 stuck E-box. Z smoked off, and Brawlin's going to take advantage of the lack of sight from the CTs, but if he overextends a little, he'll get caught by the Z player.
Oh, shifts to that silence stem 4, doing some damage there from Connector. Moves his way forwards. Flusher heads up to Flusher around the bomb train to try to create some space here. See if we can find a CT, but Contact are doing the right thing here and not really showing themselves. The bomb, as far as they're concerned, is unknown, so that's why we see one of them going towards. Ships has made his way towards the B site, so that does give Fnatic an advantage. And now the bomb's been planted. Contact will need some seconds to try to set up a read. And Otto catching JW as he tried to reposition towards T main, and all of a sudden, Flusher, is he going to try to walk all the way around here? I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe the timing's not there anymore. So he just waits for the headshot, lets one pass, and that was such a strong play. He's representing that he's going to go and try to pursue. Oh, that's so smart. That's actually so smart from Otto.
Yeah.
I would have been super sold if I was Otto that Flusher's about to shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
With 5 HP though, Otto he doesn't want to take that fight. That's a risk that he weighs also.
So probably in his mind is like he already lost or something, so he just might as well defuse.
If he has 100 HP, I think there's a greater chance that he gets off the bomb and tries to take that fight. But he knows fighting around a smoke against a rifle like that if Flusha is even committing to you at that point, you're probably not winning it anyway. So
good point.
But two reasons actually that it was a good reason to stick actually. So good on Otto.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, definitely the right play to make. And it's hard for Flusher to know what the best move is there as well, as there was still time for Otto to come off of it, take a shot, and then get back on it with the kit.
Yeah.
So Flusher made the best play, really. I think is fair to say.
Most people will get off.
Yeah.
In those kind of situations, there's a lot of time left on the bomb. And so it kind of makes sense that more people get up.
Well, back to the aggressive outside shenanigans as we see Brolan opening things up once more. Looking to gain some more space as he proceeds further down, position by position, looking for kills, creating space, stepping in some flames, walking the hot coals. And he's getting pretty deep right now. He will eventually be dealt with, but now Golden's made his way across the hell, and he's going to... Okay, maybe he won't find the kill. That's looking a little bit sketchy. This is awkward. But the Swedes are coming out on top, it seems.
Yeah, it's such a brawl towards outside. That's the way Fnatic really seems to like it. Ships, though, on a pretty quick flank, but I think the Fnatic players are aware of this. In fact, one of them is holding the angle right now. I think that's JW, who will find that kill, leaving Snappy in a 1v3. He has some decent position at Ivy right now, but doesn't even matter. JW finding the last two of the round. And Fnatic, I really like their game plan here. They've done this now for quite a few of the train games. Actually, every train game we've seen from them has involved either Brolin or really Golden. If they have a good spawn towards outside, they'll throw a sandwich smoke and just a couple supporting flashes to get them to swing all the way towards E-Box. And it's pretty much just a 50-50 fight, all things considered, but they just really trust their aim.
Yeah. Yeah, the confidence definitely matters massively in those spots, for sure.
And when you're a boomer like them, it's key. You know?
Gotta live on it.
Oh, look who decides to join us today.
Flusha coming out the ladder with a great read here to pick up the entry. Now the key here is move up together on the bomb train. The right side's unsmoked, so Flusha, again, that two, I couldn't tell if the Brawling got the other, but what is that, a 4K for Flusha?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
Yeah.
He heard us on the cast, he's like, I'll raise you your bet and call you.
He's like, oh, you only think boomers can do, or you only think zoomers can do it? That's
Also,
an old timer.
I've been liking Fnatic's route taken on this map.
Yeah.
As they're taken outside, it's very calculated. It's right after like a flashbang. They're in this spot, you know, almost in the right time, right place, almost all the time. And it's pretty amazing to watch, especially at this high level. When teams are trying to stop you from doing it, they're still somehow finding a way to do it. And that's what's so impressive.
Jesus, relentless. Look at this. Once again, Brolin just out there in the first 10 seconds of the round. Golden wondering why he's being allowed so much space on the map right now. And somehow Brolin saves him, actually. Looking for more, but it looks like it's a pretty clean anti-eco here for Fnatic.
Yeah, nothing to really complain about, and it seems like this could be the moment where if Fnatic are going to take over this game, it would kind of start here. Now that they've finally broken the money of contact, that they're finally in a position of momentum, and also like some of those outside hits will likely be a bit stronger, you know, given the fact that contacts aren't necessarily going to have or are going to be in more positions where they don't have as much money. We'll see how things change though. Fnatic could just change the pace completely, which may commit contacts based off of the very fast paces that Fnatic have had. It will commit contact to expending much more utility in the early rounds, so you get to take a late round advantage once you condition your opponent to do that, if you're the T side in this example.
It's a very good point. And with the low utility of contact, as you said, they're burning it very quickly. They're already down to only one Molotov in this round. They still have 4 smokes to work with, but yeah, it's going to be tough.
Very nice shot by Otto there. Yeah, the retakes are really difficult with no utility, so getting an early pick like that will go a long way for contacts to have a chance, a solid chance in this round.
Yeah, but Fnatic have slowed it down quite a bit, and Contact have burned through their nades almost actually, yeah, all of them in 50 seconds.
Oof, by 1 minute, yeah, that's huge.
So this could be a great read from Fnatic here if they just go for the B exec or B pop, and they do have to play that retake style contact that is.
Oh, so close.
Oh, ships. If he just had a better weapon there, he's getting 2 kills for sure, but JW has lurked into a very interesting position right now, and he's able to take down Esperanto because of it. He knows there's another player in this area, and wow, that quickscope was right on, but the inaccuracy of it does come back to bite him.
What an interesting round, because as much as you said they did run out of all the utility there pretty early into the round, they still had a decent position to get a couple kills if whoever that was on top of B train with the
I think it was
FAMAS
ships.
ships, and did a lot of damage. He did like 160 damage, but didn't get a kill.
Yeah.
And then JW was able to find that one, so those 2 kills go down. But could have been very different.
Those ones hurt the most. Like, they made the right calls contact. They were in the right spots, but you couldn't execute on, getting the kills. It's still an important part of the game. And it's just like, if you got, as we're talking about, if you got those 2 kills, contact would probably have won the round.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to contact when they forced a couple rounds prior. They didn't leave themselves. They knew they were going to buy in this round, and they were all going to be around $4,400. And so ships opted for the extra utility with the FAMAS, especially as the B anchor. It makes a lot of sense, but might have wanted to save a few rounds prior as well. Maybe instead of buying the Deagle armor, just buy the just the Deagle itself. One smoke. Your chances are low of winning the force buy anyways. So maybe look to the future on that one. But it's decisions like that that are all just 2020 hindsight.
Yeah.
I got 4v3 here in this awkward buy situation for contacts, and Fnatic looking pretty steady to... I mean, they can pretty much group up and go anywhere at this point. The only thing that's really a concern is the AWP that Snappy has. But they should be able to... They have pretty much... Well, they have full utility, but they have an ample, like more than enough utility to kind of deal with whatever situation they want. So it's looking pretty good right now for Fnatic. Are we thinking they're going to win this in 2?
I mean, the first 4 rounds, I thought Contact might put up a good fight, but now it looks like all the wind in their sails are just gone. Like, it's a complete different team from the first 4 rounds.
Ooh.
Fnatic's doing a really good job of exploiting this. Like, they're just mid-round, mid-game. It's almost perfect, in a way. Just knowing where everything is.
Yeah, I don't usually see Fnatic have some kind of maybe even meta-defining play in their current iterations. It just seems usually very default-centric. But this this early aggression towards outside, okay, I'll hold that thought as Emmy attempts this 1v3. He takes down the bomb planner there, and JW is aware of his position, and he's coming from Ivy right now. They should be able to try to triangulate where he is between these trains, and he will. Pulls out the Glock and finds the kill, but this early pressure from outside that Fnatic are just so relentless with, just sending out Brolin, Golden. I've now seen Flusha do it as well, with that simple just smoke double flash combo has been so effective at just forcing contact in every team they've played now to burn all of their utility. And like Dan was saying earlier, it conditions teams like Contact to, unless they can just win that fight outright with just gunplay, you really just don't want him to fly out E-Box and just duel you, because the worst thing on CT side is to just go 1-for-1 on that.
Yeah. For sure. They all managed to hold, though, towards E-Box.
Yeah, this time
3
they
guys
Three.
there, yeah.
3 bucks. There
The
you go.
flash play, like, I like that. I thought,
Oh!
What?
Daddy!
Disgusting. Oh no! And just as we
Look
were
at him, he's
praising
like, "Come
Contact,
to
like,
Come to me, children. He's just going to walk through that smoke right there. Let's see if he goes for more, but he's humbling himself as they take the 5v3 and move into what will be a 7-4 lead if nothing else happens this round.
that's so rough to be on the receiving end of.
That's the counter, I guess. the counter to, so Contact came up with the counter, which was to just brute force it, just send 3 people in that direction to try to take down that E-Box player, and then Fnatic know exactly how to respond. That it means that they probably have the other player at Ivy, and then the player at B has to be solo, so they knew exactly how to respond to that. That just shows that they've drilled out this procedure so many times that they know how to even break down their own strategy, what the counter is, and how to beat that too.
They're
That's
5 steps ahead.
That's so sick.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. They're like, okay, if this happens, let's go.
I really like that.
That's very smart. Oh, these shots. It's a nice
It's the
little
second shot. Look at Crims today.
Oh my god.
Was he moving?
Stop.
He
He was
barely
moving.
stops.
That looked like full speed right there.
Yeah, it feels like you didn't completely
No
counter
counter,
strafe.
no counter strafe, and he just shot. I was like, okay.
And Valorant over here.
Oh.
Say that word, I might get thrown off the couch
It's
here.
okay. They've been throwing it around
Yeah,
here all
Yeah,
day.
Mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, they were comparing Flusha and how he plays to like Icky's Omen, basically, like teleporting around, lurking.
Yeah. Actually, after rewatching that a little bit, I might take it back. I think Fnatic might have known the counter to all that heavy outside presence, but at the end of the day, that was just Crims hitting 2 nasty shots.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to go inside by himself, pretty much.
Yeah,
You know, get
that
the
kind of
kills.
breaks it. Like, that'll always break
Like,
it.
how can you counter that? Well, don't get shot in the face. 2-on-1, you know?
Yeah, he's just been it's just pretty devastating today.
And the economy and contact is all right, but not phenomenal. They have some smokes and some mollies.
Hello.
But after this initial wave of Fnatic can kind of breach their utility usage a little and delay and maybe grab a pick, this will be a really easy late round for Fnatic. But Contact's holding onto their smokes pretty well. They still got 3 left. I wasn't sure if they would just start throwing grenades because of all this early other plays Fnatic's been making, and they'd get scared of that same thing happening. But Esperanto made a good play to kind of get through Sandwich there and get info. They weren't out. Now the dust settles a little.
Contact have decent position right now. There's kind of a triangle of them around E-box, ladder, and the ladder wall. And that might actually stop the Fnatic play towards outside, or at least read it quickly enough that they know it's fake that Fnatic are trying to sell. And the real approach looks to be headed towards B. Might be Ships who's actually contested. Oh man, if he goes up this ladder at the wrong time, but he will hold his ground. And he takes Crims down. That's a big kill for him and Contact. And somehow JW falling is able to find the trade.
Pitch was even aimed at the perfect spot too. If they're falling down ladder, and he still gets outshot by JW.
The landing accuracy on the AWP is pretty nuts. Oof. Well, Snappy's going to be able to take 1 down before dying himself, so that does at least like thin the numbers a little bit. The bomb does go down. Problem very weak. Esperanto creeping around the side of the train will get a freebie. So now it's all on Golden. The lead by example finds a nice duel there, but his HP is gone, and now so is he. And that will be Contact with a 5th round, but it does feel like a struggle. It does feel like Fnatic are taking liberties and playing overall better so far.
Yeah, I think the only lapse in kind of what I've seen from Fnatic so far is they saw the previous round when he jumped out E-box was at Flusha and he died. There's 3 E-box. When you're generally playing 3 E-box, that's because you're playing 4 outside, and so they went inner, right? And then this next round, they try to like fake like a little inner to pull the rotator. But if they start 3 E-box, they're still probably going to be close, unless you do like a bigger fake late. So I don't like that they tried to go down ladder right there. They should have probably, if they really wanted to take a while, go back out to mid late heavy and have the ladder come late. That's what like the Brazilians kind of innovated that basic fundamental thought. It's like if they don't take team mid and they're playing aggressive E-box, they're gonna have ladder control late. So like right here, look at there's double E-box because there's 4 outside. So if they wanted to come back outside and they fake inner, they should obviously go back mid. Same thing again.
Yeah, so not a completely proper way to use that sort of conditioning.
Yeah, but you don't always know that they're going to do the same setup, right? They might double E-box and
Sure.
then force a teammate control, but you know, that's where it's like the 2020 backseat calling. But there is some things you could recognize there that they did it, and so let's at least play off what we know. And that's where like a lot of good callers do that.
Esperanto challenged by Golden, tried hitting the drive-by op shot, but was successful on his second take. And now Otto has a great position here at Sandwich with the op. This should be good for 1, unless he's flashed off of the angle. There are nades coming in his direction, but he still will hold his ground and take down Crims now on top of the back green train. He's looking for more. Will he be presented with an opportunity? Doesn't look like it. Flusha playing around the inner site, but he's taken down by Snappy, and it's just JW in a 1v4 with 20 seconds remaining. Likely to see some sort of save come out, though.
Yeah, and it's going to be Contacts, you know, on their way to 6 rounds. So a recovery to be sure. They did pick up the pistol and they converted the second round. So with that in mind, that kind of does illustrate the struggles that they have had. So winning the pistol is obviously a godsend in that sense to help their scoreline out. But yeah, they have a really good opportunity here to kind of take over things. We'll see if they're able to have some success with that. Jason's playing with chickens, rubber chickens in the background.
That's what makes this event special, really.
The rubber chickens.
No, just Jason.
Yeah, you just shot his ego up way up right there.
Yeah. Not that he's special. Is it?
He is special though.
Got some outside aggression coming through. Golden operating from the Olafmeister position. And we are going to get a fight on our hands pretty soon here. There's a couple players around E-Box as often there has been. But Snappy's going to be very precise there, dealing with Golden. And Fnatic will go for the B play instead here anyway. It's unfortunate that Golden was not able to survive for longer.
Yeah,
For Fnatic's sake.
Yeah, I think his intent was to pull people outside so they could work with us inside, but his death early puts Ships in a good spot, but he does get taken out by Flush. And Crims is trying to sneak on by. Contact is too aware.
Oh! Okay. Just JW, he's able to find one. And now Emmy is in the 1v1 with him. And JW, oh man. This was such a good move from him. He has a Molotov as well. Emmy has no smoke. So this can buy a lot of time for JW in this 1v1. Just Molotov the bomb. Play those 7 seconds. Although the bomb is a little bit off from the normal default position. I'm not sure if that'll affect the molly that JW would like to throw. But it looks like he'll just peek out anyways and just find the kill outright. That's one way to play it, and it will work out for him and Fnatic.
I love that JW went up the ladder straight away, but at the same time, there is like a small window where he's extremely vulnerable.
Yes.
So he's kind of gambling on that, but that's actually a pretty good gamble.
He got that kill Z, and he peeked the back lane. But I think the thought is like, if the other guy's not already peeking the back lane, he's probably flank or like following him up Z. So he like killed the Z guy, and then he kind of looked, and then he's like, no one's there. Yeah, the guy could have been like close bomb or oil, but it would seem unlikely if he wasn't already like, attacking him.
Yeah. Could have also just been out Z a second later and just shot him as he goes
Yeah,
in the ladder.
exactly.
It's so
That's what
risky.
Dan's saying, right? He
Yeah,
can just
so
go up
risky.
and timing you, which has happened a lot.
But right, as you said, like based off of what he knew, it was a
Decent little guess.
Yeah, it was a great guess. Yeah. Ooh, little boosty McBoosterson.
Oh!
Finding a headshot into Emmy, that's gonna feel
Give me
bad.
his smoke setting.
Ugh. It's gonna feel bad to be on the receiving end of that.
You're one of those guys.
Give me the setting. I want to do that.
A lot of time it's you keep the target ID on, right? So you'll see like the target ID pop up and you just start firing into it.
It's railing into that smoke. Oh, Flash is going to spot a second one. That's one of the 2 remaining players spotted. And that's the other guy dead, so it's kind of a
Blitzkrieg right there.
RIP moment there for Contact. Again, they did manage to scrape 6 rounds out of this half, unless there is a 7th in it for Otto. That's still like a pretty good scoreline. Oh my god.
Wow.
I feel that.
That's pretty accurate.
I wish he hit that. Yeah.
So yeah, I think, again, like, considering how hard that half was, to walk away with 6 rounds is pretty good for a Contact.
Yeah, and we'll see after a quick break if they're able to bring it to a 3rd map or maybe a closer game.
It is pretty insane, again, if you... Oh.
Yeah, no, it's...
I forgot.
Yeah.
And we're back for pistol round.
Here we go. The pistol, ever important. Crimson's going to get a couple with the help of Flusher. And life does not look doesn't look good. It's rather bad. If you're contact. If you're looking to try to find a way to get a third map, certainly not looking all that good on that end of things. But Fanatic,
that was a nice kill.
yeah, they're showing some heads to Snappy, and he's going to take those away. And now it's going to be down to the last couple here, Esperanto and Snappy, to try to clutch this one. And that's just going to make life a little bit more difficult. Snappy's going to have to do everything by himself now. Nice little bit of extra money there for Snappy, but it really feels too much of an ask, I suppose, all things considered. But they did get the bomb planted, and obviously that's the difference, because the extra $800 per player, that's a full nade set if you want it. So they do have options for a nasty force buy here.
Yeah, whoever was calling these kind of pistols on Fanatic is doing a really awesome job, because they always seem to be stacked in bomb sites with other teams hitting. I think almost every pistol round, it seems like there's 3 Fanatic wherever the other team hits in pistol. So
They have cool retake procedures too.
Yeah.
The innovative ones, like the one on Inferno from earlier where they smoke off first oranges as opposed to banana like everybody else would. That really struck me as well. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
maybe that's part of the retake strategy, which is good for pistols. You got to retake. sometimes.
Oh,
That's really nice by Desperado.
And that's why he's on the team.
That's why he's
it's just Otto and him in the 1v1, but Brolin with no kit, no smoke. This is a very tall order, and it looks like he'll just try to save this AUG into the upcoming round.
I look pretty funny just walking backwards right in the ladder room.
That's a lot of damage. And that's like actually exactly what we were talking about. Kind of foreshadowed it a little bit. Just so much that Fnatic can do with very little. You have to be very cautious about that, and that's going to hurt a lot. That's going to really slow down Contact's ability to pick up momentum. And if they make one mistake or have one bad round, suddenly that makes like losing 4 players on a round like that instead of losing like 1 or 2 makes a really big difference, because you may lose a buy round, an entire buy round, because of that.
Yeah, less opportunities. Brolin, definitely the player to watch in this round, just because he has that solo AUG. Esperanto has been a monster, though, at ladder, and this time around he has a slightly more cautious approach with it. kind of dancing on the ladder. And Contact, they're taking their time with this outside approach. Looks to be more or less their standard, though. The backs, green smoke, a couple Molotovs to flush these players out of some angles. And Brolin, with that AUG, he's able to pick up one, but quickly traded out by the MAC-10 of Snappy. And at this point, it looks like Contact have free reign across the outer yard. JW may be good for one here, this sneaky approach, but somehow is not able to find too much.
Oh, wait. Can't. Can't hear Jordan.
Can't hear
Nothing
Jordan.
there.
Jordan's been silenced.
He knows too much.
They've cancelled Jordan. Hashtag uncancel Jordan.
It's currently 10-9. We're feeling fine. I am divine.
Here we go. Jordan's back. The energy's up. Snappy, look at the creep.
Oh, wow.
Snappy he's creeping. He's
Look at
creeping
the
hard.
Oh, that's
dear.
unfortunate.
Is there any more of you guys down there? What's going on here? That smoke is always demoralizing when you see that coming. You're like, all right, guys, ready to hit lower? Smoke, Molly, nade.
Gotta hang out in Whitehalls for a little bit. Check out the scenery.
Yeah, they back off pretty far here, actually. Looks like they want to take some control once again. Don't want to just wait out the smoke and twiddle their thumbs. Looks like it'll be a T-Con and ladder split onto the A bomb site. Fnatic is in a decent position to handle this. Because of their man advantage, they can play back here. Can just try to delay for the rotations to come in at this point. And Contact looks like they will be just committing for pretty much a full exec towards this outer yard.
And the old totem drop in the ladder room ends. Now the split is on. Otto, the deep molly towards camera. And they're out. This is they're going to be out in forward positions, but it's by design here because there's very little time. Everything has to go perfectly. If anything goes wrong, and well, the bomb's going to go on the ground, and there's no time for that. So the round is over. Fnatic get all the frags. Unfortunately, Contact didn't really give themselves much time. Not that it mattered ultimately, but
yeah, that's a little odd. The smoke landed at their feet with about 50-something seconds left, and it took until there were 15 seconds left in the round for them to find the positions they needed. So, not giving themselves the greatest room for error there.
okay, so Contact starting to fall behind here. Fnatic starting to assert themselves on the CT side, but that's a great pick. Brolan just running forwards will be caught, and got some aggressive play around Ivy, which I really like, and that's just that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool.
Spray! Crims! Just, why not? Just hitting shots like,
So
you know.
15 tap.
Yeah, you know. It works for Crims, why not?
He's showing
Wow,
us.
how did he live right there? Who was that?
Crims, it was Crims. Just,
Fell back, yeah.
he's invincible right now.
He's the ghost of Train. Snappy's patience may reward him.
It does, and there's a lot of time on the clock, and he has the bomb, so he even has time to just kind of go quiet for a bit if he wants and just reset the situation. He's gonna toss the smoke down. He can do so much with that. Either it's you know, they can't see if he's crossing or not, or he's able to kind of just wait there and double fake it, or he can actually just fake it once. Like, he can do so much with it. He's actually going to go upper, it seems, with this smoke. Perhaps anticipating that they would try to look over the smoke towards connector, and he might be correct. Nope. He's looking for that frag. He knows someone has to be spotting. He knows someone has to be spotting. With the smoke that he threw, someone has to be on the site or spotting. It's so weird, I think, for Snappy that no one's peeking from connector there. It's a pretty good play, but the bomb will be planted, so he's really on for this. Well, they anticipate the timing here from Snappy.
It looks like they don't realize that he planted in such a forward position, which is why he's able to sneak like this. Otherwise, they for sure check this, and this is looking great for him right now.
Oh.
Can he get them both? This is looking perfect from Snappy. There's the one. He knows where the second one is. Snappy is on for this. He's doing such a good job. Flusher pursues the Molotov.
Flusher!
Oh, how does Flusher always manage to do stuff like that? That's crazy.
Big brain.
Snappy played it so damn well.
Flusha just baits him into the fight to stand in the Molotov a little bit longer there. He jiggles him out there, and Snappy thinks, I just got to commit to this fight now. And
Right here, I don't know why Snappy jumps up on the railing versus away.
Right.
that was a little odd, but he just
Because he does the damage right away.
Yeah, but he's frozen by Flusha just throwing out that jiggle at him. I think he probably wanted to go over the red train at some point, but
maybe
kind of cut the
to
angle
repeat.
away from him by just being above him.
Yeah.
That or maybe a repeat. I don't know.
Because they also threw a smoke on the bomb too, and he had a Molotov, and he knew that he couldn't just use that out for later in the round too.
That's heartbreaking. Like, Snappy played that so well from start to finish. Forward positions for contact as he make the move here, and that's unlucky for JW. He does some damage at least. Crims. Oh, no! Come on!
Crims is unkillable.
Do that 90-degree snap. What a beast. It's down to Flusher now. Again, it's this guy. It's the last guy you want to be up against in a clutch situation.
And the smokes fade just in time after Contact was able to kill the guy right in front of him, and he couldn't isolate anyone anymore, so now he's forced to respect the crossfire, but I mean, if you know he's Z, go up heaven and drop the... I don't know.
Logic's out the window. Contact. Oh my goodness, Flusha, he's so patient, methodical.
It is weird because, like, depending on what angle of Z he's on, like, if you try to drop bomb, your teammate could get killed, then he knows you're heaven or something, but...
Yeah. I think it's okay.
You could get your teammate mid-bomb ready to trade, like, on the little lip.
Yeah,
and then
just get ready to jump
off of heaven, and then if he does shoot you, your teammate could, like, swing. Yeah. But I don't know. But, like, you dry peeking an isolated crack, it's
an untradeable.
This boomer is questioning this zoomer.
Those are losing angles, losing fights. You don't want to take too many of those. This might be an interesting little
Oh my god.
push.
What's he trying to do here? What's actually happening right now? He's funneling them through.
Flusha just leaves
golden.
him. See you later.
Oh, that nade. Oh, no, never mind. Just back off.
Okay, that was really odd. I was struggling to understand what was going on really with the forward incendiaries. Like, is he trying to make a play behind that?
I think they were trying to do, obviously, a play, but Flusha probably said fall back. Golden didn't hear it or something, or they didn't calm something, because Golden was kind of up in their face trying to get a kill first.
Yeah.
And got caught trying to fall back.
Oh.
My favorite thing is when you go up the steps and then you can make the jump to the little balcony thing and just get the flank on the other guys sitting on top of the ladder room.
Those are sexy plays.
Ladder, yeah.
Especially if they don't hear it.
Yeah, because I was wondering that when he threw the molly, I was like, is that what he's trying to do? To cover the sound and so on?
Maybe. That's a good point.
But they're going pretty well here again for Fnatic. It doesn't feel like Contacts have the tactical strength necessary to make the engagements hard enough for Fnatic right now in some of these rounds.
It's hard. I mean, playing against a team like Fnatic, they're really good at changing things up all the time, mixing it up. And since they've been a team for so long, they probably have just a plethora of just stuff that they can do that, probably just talk about it. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. And a team like Contact probably have to try everyone to talk about it. Why do this? Why do that?
Crims is just going to take down at me. Unfortunate opening for Contact. This is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. You really want to get these Contact players out in the open, and they're finding the frags suddenly. Ships with a nice double there to even up the odds. 2 versus 2, loads of time. And that
It's so funny. Like you said, they're just getting out there. It's like a slap contest. Like, they're just like, get out, fight. Like, for a second, I see the op and utility. I was like, okay, let's go slow a little. Maybe grab an Ivy pick and reset and do a split. But, yeah, maybe they just feel like the more time that lapses, the more mistakes they can make or something.
Yeah. especially if things are going poorly, it's nice to get some energy into the team, getting people out to just do some deathmatch. But Fnatic have been shutting down the choke points pretty effectively. Although Ships is going off in this round, he finds a following frag onto Golden. Trade is going to be alive by Flusher, but that will give his position away as well. With that peeky in the... Oh, the flash is going to fail, but the Jiggle confirms that he's likely good to peek out here. He seems to be... I was going to say, it seemed to be the case that he didn't not read that Snappy had moved from that position.
He thought he went camera instead of 5-6, I could tell.
Yeah, and that will be the death of him.
Barely missed the movement. So that's the stuff that we get from our perspective. They're like, hey man, why aren't you looking to your left?
Yes, even Flusher can make a mistake in his awareness. So 14 to, well, I should say 10 to 14 after Contact picked that one up, and that was a really nice recovery. Ships did a fantastic job on it. Again, that's one of those rounds where Fnatic had the upper hands, but Ships came out with a couple really, really awesome frags to
right
kind of
away.
save it.
Fnatic had him behind smokes, got the entry, and then they just kind of pierced the veil.
Yeah, and it makes it hard, doesn't it, to kind of question the consistency, how well the Contact can replicate the success, as it seems to be reliant on, just finding some headshots.
It seems
just
so
out in the open.
It seems so easy too when it's working. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I can get behind this Contact team. You see that outside rush?
Yeah.
They just like smoked them, but then yeah, you throw a little wrench into their gear and they have to have another layer. But here we go again, another fast outside push, taking the bomb train. And I love the scaling and I love the concepts, but it's mostly because it's an eco round.
Yeah.
I think that's the trap we've fallen in with Contact a couple times now. Their anti-ecos are surprisingly polished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gun rounds, though, have left a lot to be desired.
I guess it's easier to throw grenades when you're not getting opped.
That's true.
Yeah,
no
that's a good point.
No one's shooting you.
JW's not back 6, just terrifying you of going down lanes.
Oh. The 50-50, man, it's scary.
Wow.
All right, 11 rounds for Contact. Again, if you are just joining us, Fnatic decimated Contact on the first map, which was Mirage. It was 16-3, I believe. So,
Yeah.
it's a better fight here from Contact, but definitely they do look like the underdog still.
Yeah, this is Fnatic's map pick as well. They should have the capability to close. We see Flusha has moved on from the MP9 onto the UMP.
Just changing it up.
Yeah, just he likes how fresh it looks with the nice gradient on it.
Just the fade, yeah.
Flusha somehow not doing native round. Ooh, and a lurk out at B actually opens things up for Contact here. Quick to scale down, though, is Snappy and Esperanto. Another kill, JW falls. And now Fnatic, they definitely have to consider the save at this point. But the bomb is actually quite far away at this point. I think it's at T-Con still? So,
Yeah.
Contact will keep on pressing forward, which will catch Fnatic off guard. But Crims, when you challenge him and give him an opportunity like this, he can definitely make you pay for it.
I need to learn how to say brick wall in Swedish.
Oh, no. Oh. How?
The mid-game of Contact just gets decimated by Fnatic. Just playing them.
That's where
piano,
they've always been so strong at that. Like
Yeah.
they always know. Like that's what we always talk about, right? We've said it so many times the last couple of days because we've been on Fnatic Cam the last couple of days, and it's like they are amazing in the mid rounds. Like when you get less experienced opponents and teams and players, the mid round where you got to do all the decision making on the fly is there's way more leaks and holes, but Fnatic can play that.
That's
those
where
positions so
that's where
well.
they made all their money in those
Yeah.
majors. You know, is you would listen to their VODs. You remember they came out with those ones from the Inferno games, and their calls were not that sophisticated with what Pronex was saying, but it was always just like they got into the site, and one guy made a perfect timing, got in a good spot, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, that's how you went around.
They just have that's like their style too. It makes them very compelling to watch.
That's why Strauss always hated him, right?
Right.
Strauss is like the protocol masters of defense. And were you making that point yesterday, or someone was on there just about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I say a lot of things about
Yeah,
Counter Strike.
I probably made that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
How good your mid game is, it's a tough situation when you got B on lockdown in a situation like this. So Fnatic's going to cut their losses and go for a little save here.
Little savey save.
Yeah, they won't be gifted this one like the previous, where Contact definitely overextended and probably overthought themselves out of that last round.
I think in order to be as good as Fnatic in those kind of situations, you have to really understand human psychology in those kind of mid-game scenarios. Like, well, it's common for person to peek and push here at this time, but you know they're playing against me, and you know it's just a lot of ifs and ands just popping their head immediately, and they always choose the right one. A lot of times they do. It's pretty impressive. It's just fun to watch.
I remember Dan brought it up yesterday how teams oftentimes expand their decision tree as they encounter similar situations and protocols, for example. But Fnatic, they fleshed it out on an individual level so well on top of that, where they know the likelihood of certain plays, just like you're saying, the psychology of it.
So right now, Contact, they're only 3 away from forcing an overtime. They played many in overtime here today, so maybe they can get another one for your viewing pleasure. And Fnatic, they're not got a couple rifles, obviously, from the save, but they didn't really invest anything else. Well, effectively nothing was invested this round. So Contact looking likely to get to 13, and then it's just 2, like a gun rounds or 2 away from tying things up, so they're in a good position here. Esperanto might find some contact here. The angle is better for the CT, but the gun is better for Esperanto. Alright, so... Oh, okay. This could be problematic. If Golden can pick up another one and buy time for his teammates to rotate, that's definitely going to cause...
Golden was taken out on the side, and Ships here on the lurk should be good to close this one out. I'm not sure if Fnatic will be able to read his position out. They've been so good in these late round situations, but Ships may have made a bit of a noise. Actually, Crims, though, is unable to capitalize, which leaves Brolin in the 1v3. These are some long-range duels, and he isn't able to connect. So Contact do find that 13th.
Well, at least Contact is making it pretty close here, and they are changing the pace a bit, so which is a good sign. Other than that, some nice shots as well, so can't count them out too much. Fnatic, though, you're going to have to find a way to stop Contact from pretty much exploiting them. Just slow takes and catch Fnatic off guard a little bit.
Oh, look at this, though. Oh, it's a hero scout. Never mind. I thought they had money on one player to bust that out, but it's not the op.
Oh, beautiful. That like adjustment of his crosshair placement, only to be duped by the guy coming up the ramp. That was pretty cool.
That's the, that's good CS right there, knowledge. Experience that Fnatic knows that people react like that.
I think I've seen the Bears make a couple plays like that.
Back in the day. Or yesterday. You never know. They play a lot.
So definitely Contact taking this with a lot of respect for Fnatic, especially given the fact that they've already lost a player and Snappy's critically low. They must be really cautious. Golden has since thrown the AK, of course, over to Flusher. No one really has armor. Golden has some, but it's moot at this point. Ooh, there we go. Ships with a nice double. And lots of tagging going on here. Okay, got to be careful. They're pretty weak, these remaining players. The Scout will one-shot anybody right now. That's dangerous. And then the AK for Flushers also definitely could cause some problems. They don't have a kit. 85, I want to say.
Ships could be
80,
taken
85,
70.
70,
Can't
70,
really see his
85.
HP from here. That's part of it. We have a wide range here, and
It's above 50.
my eyes are just too bad to see Ship's HP right there.
Everybody damn low, but it's all up to Flusher now with the AK-47. He knows one is dancing, juking, trying to dance around that ladder to try to just buy time, and beautifully done by Otto. That's going to secure the 14th round for Contact. They only need one more, but if they lose it, the series is over. If they win it, obviously it's overtime, so it's a shot at getting a third map. So it's going to be a long road for Contact no matter what. But Fnatic could end it here. They could end the run right now.
Be nice if they called timeout, maybe talk about it. I don't know. Last round might as well. See if they have any thoughts. But they decide not to.
I would love to see Fnatic just try something a little bit more aggressive. I feel like a lot of these gun rounds have been kind of passive, and when you have this freedom to really just kind of play with one round, the worst that can happen is OT. You could kind of throw caution to the wind a little bit more than they have, but they've already secured a player in Pop Dog with Brolin being there, so that's a very great spot to be, especially with the focus that Contact has been putting on this position. Oh, it does not work out for Brolin though.
Looked like he alt-tabbed there for a second.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. His crosshair placement was obviously on one side, and intelligently the first player drops to the other side of that. Oof. Trade from the nade of Crims, though. Crims has a lot to do here by himself. Stuck around old bomb. He does have some reinforcements, but Contact has so much time on the clock they can reset, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're just rotating towards the B side. And I would imagine that Fnatic will not have too many opportunities here. They need to get a kill as these players enter, and you can see there's no one really there to do that. It's just going to be Flusher playing around the bomb train. He gets one hit. Here comes the trade from up high. He's unable to do much about that. Now it's a 2 versus 3 for Fnatic. Difficult times for them, but Contact looking good for the overtime.
Yeah, this is a really tough retake for them. JW and Crims, they spot one out at the back white train now, but the time is against them, and despite that tag, Otto and crew are in a great position to send this to OT. It looks like it's inevitable at this point, unless Crims is able to do some magic. He's able to find one, but unless JW does a lot more, and he won't, this will head to OT.
Yeah, Contact. As rough as this game had looked so far, they have managed indeed to make it all the way back. They had a horrendously tough first half, I think it's fair to say, but they managed to make it work ultimately. So we'll see if they can, if they've learned, grown, and adapted as time has gone on, and whether or not that'll be enough to take this one over the line. Fnatic, the same can be said for them, as you mentioned. There's a lot of stuff they didn't do. They didn't opt for too much aggression. Oh, only bouncing off Golden's head.
It's an awkward spot.
Yeah, he's really ticked down low.
Wow. It looks like Contact's finding the openings a lot in these last, I don't know, 8-10 rounds on offense. So they're kind of feeling it. They're feeling it.
Oh, nice boost there, just on the fly. Oh, sneaky stuff though. He's walking into the smoke. That's Esperanto. He'll take a lot of tagging damage, so I should surely hear that. Okay.
What?
I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
Esperanto though, he's doing a lot of damage to Fnatic right now. This position's really annoying. This position allows them to just switch the push from B to A. And Esperanto blocks off the rotation. Yeah, just better positioning, better timings here from Contact. And it's like they're going to be good for this round. Feels like JW's been pretty quiet on train. I haven't really noticed too many plays from him with that AWP so far.
Yeah, his CT side has not been as flashy as we have seen him earlier, but Contact have a lot of momentum now. Esperanto is really feeling this game. He's walked out B several times now, and to great effect. In fact, when he comes out ladder as well, he's done just fantastically. So that's always a scary prospect when a player like Esperanto catches some fire. He does die to the bomb, which is kind of odd, but regardless, it's actually 10k OT, so he does have to rebuy into this round, but it should be he'll be fine.
Well, what's the plan, Jordan?
Well, I'm thinking for lunch, I want.
Filet mignon.
You know, it would be nice to see, like I said, them continue to kind of control the pacing and do some different things. But this is what we're seeing here.
Oh no!
And this is such a viable option what they just did in the molly, and immediately 2 + 2 = 4. You know they're running out. Let's start trading. Let's start getting action. You know they're jumping up. Where's the rest of the boys at?
Where they at? They're not even in
They
the
dipped
site.
on Brown Hole. I would have liked to see someone like Back Pop just railing into that Z smoke, because you know if you get the kill, they mollies either. They're trying to immediately take back ground. If you let the T's get pushed forward, you lose. So the CTs are going to be coming out. I would like to see that. But the reason they did that was get the plant outside, and it's a 2 versus 2 after. Gold makes a swift play. But JW stuck behind the molly in a 2 versus 1, and this is going to be a unique one where he's got to bait him out fast by tapping the bomb. I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of just storms over there and clicks it and then tries to get a little weird here, but he thinks he could find a frag.
Oh, he doesn't clear that right side of the red train.
And he could obviously be heard, so they're not worried about getting on it too fast.
Oof. Unfortunately, JW just with the wrong reads this time around. Contacts with 2 in a row on overtime, and it's got to be really frustrating for Fnatic because it's the kinds of plays where you're just getting caught out on timings. They have a pace which is unexpected, and that's how they're winning the rounds. So that's got to feel really, like, I feel like in those spots you feel like you're more unlucky than you're getting outplayed.
Yeah.
Look at Snappy with the spawn real quick. Not to cut you off, Dan, on purpose. I just wanted to. I wanted to see. Like, is he doing the E-box jump? Tell me, please. B-hop to the right with the flash. Nope. Okay. Like, I just, I'm like salivating here. Look at him beat these mollies.
Oh,
and-
what?
He's stunning in the mollies, bro.
He thought there was a gap.
He, and that's why, I was excited there to watch him.
To watch him burn. You did want lunch. Served up right there.
Some Texas barbecue.
Flame broiled, yeah.
Would that be Danish? Or wait, what's Snappy again?
Danish.
Okay, good job, Jordan. We're out on the exchange here. The MB9 going to be able to do some damage, but it's not. And the 4v4 is about to be turned into a 4v3
Wow.
as another molly killed the round, but this time Summit 1G. He did it in the Summit position. He literally died where Summit did it. It was all for this moment.
Homage.
As a 3-0 for contact on T-side train, they move into the defense feeling righteous versus the Swedish powerhouse of the olden days.
And Fnatic's been dropping the ball here. They've been on 15 for a good amount of rounds.
This is a weird, I would say, 10 rounds or so where, despite Flush's scoreline, he was, I think, at 27 and, I don't know, 18 or something at one point. He was frequently the first to die at B, and like Dan was saying earlier, it didn't feel like he was playing it necessarily badly, just caught off by some crazy timings. JW, though, with an early timing of his own, will find an opening pick, and now Flusha, he wants some blood after having a disappointing CT side. He comes up with 2 huge kills to give Fnatic a good chance in this one.
Yeah, 3 in a row to force another OT is definitely going to be hard. And you know what? Taste, they give Contact a taste of their own medicine with that really fast, aggressive opening.
So they just carry it all 3 rounds. Fnatic's like, here, pedal to the metal, boys. We'll show you who did this first.
Yeah, and we saw that in the previous, well, never mind. I was going to say, there was actually Ships that, was it Ships that burns? Who died to the molly first? Like
Snappy.
Snappy.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, either way, I'm curious to see whether or not Fnatic are going to keep up the aggression, or if they're going to kind of just really mess with the timings, now play slower, and so on and so forth. We'll have to see. They have spotted a couple towards Ivy, so they're going for an Ivy, well, for a default with some Ivy pressure. And that's pretty cool because you can see the aggressive smoke there. You really want to deny the CTs to be able to exploit that. And it's so everything resets on the map now. One thing that's a problem is that Contact seem to have ladder control, if I'm reading the minimap correctly. And that's kind of an issue for Fnatic, because if you, as a CTs, have that position, you do have fast rotation timings. You really are able to block off splits, so you can more effectively deduce what they're doing. If there's no Ivy, if there's no Ivy presence, then you know it's probably not going to be an A hit, because they would need at least one other position.
Right. You can play like 2.5 B essentially at that point. Quick rotate being the half.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like this is. I feel like given the info that Contact have, this B push is very telegraphed.
Yeah, but no one's rotating.
Yeah.
Contact. They still have 4 people outside. That's
interesting,
wild.
and they're able to get the kill, and if they can stop Fnatic from pushing right now, they might be able to do something about that, but Flusha is putting the nail further into the coffin this round, as it's going to go to what looks like an 18-17.
I think that taking account to Fnatic's style is that they toss all that utility in B, and not one person from Contact over-rotated. They just had 4 people outside for like 2 flashes, a smoke. They're like, yeah, it's Fnatic. It's probably a fake.
And it's also like a really good example as to like why having Ivy pressure and Ivy lurk is important, especially because in that scenario, like normally, again, we talked about this yesterday, if the CTs have ladder room and no one on the T side ever deals with it, what happens then is you can kind of deduce just off of that control if they're going to hit A or not. And because the only other choke point you have to check is Ivy. Because if you have an understanding that there's nothing happening around Ivy, then it's not like all 5 players are going to come through teammate. So you kind of have the ability to deduce that there's no split coming to A. So that means that they kind of have to be towards B at that point. So with the time running so low, it's like a very good bet. So that's like another reason. So it's strong to have Ivy pressure, because it allows you to like really mess with the CTs. It becomes very hard for them to predict what you're doing.
I noticed there's a handful of teams like Fallen and them who love just like playing aggressive on CT side at Ivy constantly, because they feel like they can kind of, if you don't have a plan for contesting that, them getting that Ivy control and opens like the random flanks, and they can kind of lean a little bit more bomb train heavy. They don't need to play Z-box heavy because they're confident in the retake. And
it's another really good point. Yeah, it gives you a lot more options, doesn't it?
Close situation here. Ships hoping they try to make a play through the smoke here.
Oh, this is scary. That barrel's going to show if JW goes any closer. Ooh. Ships with this MP9. It just feels like he's going to murder everyone that comes through.
Oh, it's all done.
And, is there a trade? There's no trade.
TK is scared. He's like,
Cribs actually juked that really well.
Oh, it's a fake. Fnatic faking.
Oh, no! Cribs with the fire finishes off Esperanto after the chip damage. And this is starting to get interesting. 30 seconds left.
Oh, what?
This guy is just nuts. And there's someone up on the high ground as well. That could be a problem here. Emmy's able to take down Flusha. And now Snappy's on that flank. 20 seconds. The bomb is finally getting planted. Will Crims have that game sense to check behind? Will he turn around in time? We've seen him do it a few times, but it feels like it's not going to happen. There goes the jump with the MP9. That's good for 1. Now it's just about delaying gold and making it as hard as possible so they can 2v1 him. That's the goal. That's the mission. Oh, what? Deagle comes out!
Oh, my goodness!
Oh, man.
Couple good plays there. They're all around it. In the end, they're able to take map 2 on train.
That was impressive. Impressive comeback by Contact.
God damn.
But do we know what was third map again?
Overpass.
Overpass, and
Well,
Overpass.